Tell me what we do, everybody want to kill us. They want to take what belongs to us. We they love our neighbors, so we they love ourselves too. So it is written in the holy book. If I not channel, na merani biko kodo onyolu welu mono aya na merani no onyolu welu mono onyo chai chukwu kikele ani na bogi the time is now. We want to go. Remember your promises. Oh, na me oh, onuzo kebiafra merani onuzo kebiafra na merani onuzo kebiafra merani onuzo kebiafra ndiro marani buruburu anachi wepunda anyị n'ike shata oh they are holding our lead Mazinambika now is Prime Minister Moses Simon we shall rise and defend our land the land of rising sun is our hope Yogi bikonu sitende muziki kamehe iwele yo.
All right, greetings everyone. Greetings in the mighty name of Chukwu Kikabia Maproimi Henile. I greet you all. Raphael Chamaka Jere here, Pastor Vam. I greet you all and I bring you good tidings. By the grace of Chukwu Kikabia Maproimi Henile, I am the armor bearer of the Prime Minister, Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Please do not mind the noise of the ambulance. We need to hit it as quickly as we can. How many of you, when you see this video I just played now, remember and understand how important our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has been to us? How many of you remember? And whenever I see my Prime Minister, I remember that he is still loyal to the authority of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that's why the two of them are still winning. And that's why I cannot compare myself with any of them. That's why they remain our absolute leaders. Absolutely. That's why Nigeria cannot contain the truth these two represent. And that's why when I see some of the Achikote Kwonu that are just buffooning themselves up and down, trying to give order, trying to talk, pa, 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 pa. I hear Ogenkere talk, pa, 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 pa. I hear Ngasara Boys vomiting and shitting up and down. I see all the urchins, all the erats that are trying to cancel me. You're only formidable, non-bendable iron, and the armor bearer of this duo, our leaders. You have to double up more to think you can cancel the truth. That's the reason why you see that these two keep winning. Watch out for them. There's no way Nigeria can rise again. No way. Nigeria is an evil entity. Just like my prime minister said it, Nigeria breeds criminality. Just like my leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, said it's Obode Ekwensu nke Nigeria. Yes, Obode Ekwensu. Obode Ekwensu bu Nigeria. Nigeria is evil. And there's no way Nigeria can rise again. Just see what is happening in the zoo. See how they are trying to launder their image. Instead of fixing the problem that they have, they are laundering their image. Thank God for the vindication of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because Yoruba would not have, come to the acknowledgement. Do you know that under our watch now, the army, the Nigerian army, have admitted that there is a motive of Islamization going on? What is then the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was sentenced to life imprisonment by that godless, evil entity? What is now the reason why there is a gang up against Simon Ekpa? Everything they have done and they are doing. God, the Almighty Chukwukabiama, have vindicated us and will give us this freedom. This freedom. If God does not give it to us, nobody can. That's why you see all the characteristics showing themselves up and down. And they will do that. Because if it doesn't happen, you will not know who is who. All of a sudden, somebody who can just get up and tell you, you mean nothing. That's why somebody can open his eye and look at Simon Ekpa and consider him to mean nothing, and then come out and read. After calling him boss, and after calling him prime minister, Odogu, Obatobie, and they come out and read and say, Mr. Ekpa, sabotage because of Ngosora Boeze. I ask you, these people, do they breathe with their nose actually and eat with their mouth? Where evidence shows that Simon Ekpa have nothing to do with this bastard of a woman. How do you sleep and eat? Today now, thank God, Mazi Simon Ekpa have not come out again to say, hey, you must sit at home. You must not sit at home. He has not said it. The sit at home continued up till now on the decision of the people of Biafra. And we have always said that it is the homeland, the men on ground, they are the one responsible for the decision. The PM was just encouraging people that is the need, what you need to do. The armies of Biafra came out again and said that they are listening to instruction and that they have decided that the sit at home must not continue. I am not going to come here and begin to tell you, hey, you must sit at home, just like that idiot. Ogenkere came out and said, you must sit at home. It must be proven beyond doubt that Biafrans sitting at home is on their own accord. Yes, because if the Biafran Liberation Army, who actually instructed Biafrans to sit at home, sit at home on the last Monday, to show Soludo that he is not in charge, that Biafrans can decide to do what they want to do on their own. And Biafrans sat at home. And now they came out and did another video. I will not come to debunk it or to tell you it is a lie, it's not true. If the Biafran Liberation Army decides to make a video, why should I come and debunk it? Am I going to be on ground to protect Biafrans? Like Ogenkere was doing a video. Hey, sit at home, shut up your mouth. You are a fool. You're a madman. Will you protect Biafrans? Do you have the capacity? All the money Biafrans have been given to you for these people to keep themselves and to protect Biafran land. What have you really done with it? You want to come out and speak? You have no authority. The people that have authority is Simon Ekpa and Mazin Namdekan. At their own freedom, they can decide and tell Biafrans. But up to then, the Biafra homeland and the military, because they have what it takes to protect Biafrans and protect themselves, they can decide to make any decision they want to take based on their own understanding. I am not going to come here and tell you, hey, you must sit at home. If you, just like the Biafran army said, I saw the video. If you choose to sit at home, Biafrans, they are not going to tell you not to sit at home. Just like Soludo was saying, hey, you must come out to beef. No, they have just released their statement. So if Biafrans decide on their own and say, we are not yet satisfied because he must be free, and they decide to continue to sit at home, who am I to come out and tell them to come out and not sit at home? It is left at their own discretion. That's exactly how every intelligent person and one who is following the orders must put this narrative, not to come out and begin to insist on Biafrans when the Biafra Liberation Army, Igwe Butuzo, and the Gentle Yahoo, they have decided to come out with a press release. We will leave it at that and let's see going forward. But Biafrans, you must know that we must do the needful for our leader, Mazin Namdekan, to be free. We must stand resolute for our leader, Mazin Timon Ekpa, to be free. That we must continue to do, because as it is now, Nigeria have no foundation. All the foundation of the zoo have crumbled. And I bet you they can never ever rise again. Aqua Nigeria, I told you on this platform that Nigeria will never be able to get it right. Never. They will never get it right. Every attempt they make to fix it, find a patch on a leak, because they are not intending to actually patch properly. Because if there is a torn clothes, in those days we call that people call Obioma. If you have torn clothes that you need to patch, when you call the Obioma, you will show the Obioma, those that used to sew clothes, you show them the areas that are torn, so that when they are fixing it, they'll fix it well. But you know what Nigeria government is doing? They know the area that is torn, and they know where to show the Obioma to fix it. They will come and be telling the Obioma, you know that area, just leave it first. Let's see how we can let us make people believe that this thing did not tear. Let's cover that tear first. Don't patch it. Just cover it. Wear something to cover the hole, so that people will see you like everything is going well. But the hole is still there. The hole is still there. The injury is still there. Now in Kwara State, complete massacre, complete destruction of human beings, a whole community raised down. I was listening to, what's his name, Arise News this morning. Abati was trying everything he can. If time would not fail me, I will play the video. To sustain the Nigeria government narrative of it is not only Christians that are killed, also Muslims are killed. But they were not actually asking these terrorists. Only Rufai was asking, these terrorists, were they gone down? When did the military come? How long did it take the military to come? Only Rufai was asking that question. But Ruben Abati was busy trying to, okay, let us establish that it is only Muslims that were murdered in this place. But you know, at the end of the day, the man admitted that it is not only Muslims. So yes, Muslims were, but it's not only Muslims. A number of Christians were also unalived in Kwara. But after I even listened to that, I now saw this interview, from the Imam himself, the real Imam that is the one in charge of that particular area. Come and let us listen to what the Imam was saying. The Imam was telling them, look, even the number of Christians that were unalived, that's what I'm telling you, no matter how they try to cover up their shit, they will never ever be able, because Nigeria can never ever rise again. It's not possible. Okay, wait, let me first of all remove this other video so I have a better platform. All right, here we are. Please let the rain not follow. This rain is trying to drop and drive me out of this place. Now, listen to this. This is an Alhaji and the Imam. Listen to him.
There are some that are buried on the Christian rite. There are some that have been affected that does not. Okay, there are some that are not from that community. They have to take their call to different locations. There are some that are burned down in the church. Some they lock them inside their room and set it on fire. In fact,
I heard it. Some were buried on Christian rites, those that were murdered. It's like when he was saying that somebody was trying to stop him from establishing that there was anything like Christian rites. Listen from the beginning.
There are some that are buried on the Christian rite. There are some that have been affected that does not. Okay.
You see the edit there? The man started by telling you that there were some that were buried on the Christian rite. That means a lot of Christians was also killed in Kwara. Do you understand? And then he went on to tell you that there were some that were burnt alive inside their churches in this Kwara, the Kwara deadly attacks. Okay?
There are some that are not from that community. They have to take their call to different locations. There are some that are burned down in the church. Some they lock them inside their room and set it on fire. In fact, those that burns inside the rooms and church, we cannot even identify some. We cannot count the number of people that are being burned down.
Those that were burnt inside their churches, those that were burnt in their houses, they can't even count their numbers. So at the end of the day, the issue that Nigeria should be concerned about is that these terrorists are actually unaliving people. But rather, they are going about telling there is no Christian genocide. There is no Christian genocide. It is Muslim. It is a crisis. But are you people, did you people make any effort to clamp down on these people, terrorists that were doing this thing? But another thing that will shock you is that this particular mayhem, took place for over 10 hours. 10 solid hours. Let me continue to listen to this man. Listen,
We're so sorry what you've been through, especially with the loss of your children and to have your wife treated like that. So we do commiserate with you on the experience. Now, you also talked about the fact that there was notification that you received a letter, or that they told that they were coming a month in advance. How did you receive that notification? Who brought it? How did that information come to you? And did you report this to the authorities after you got it?
I received the notification on the 10th of January, around 7:45. When the man came, the man is the Akimi of there's one small village about 4 kilometers from my community. According to him, they adopted him and forced him to bring the letter, or else they will kill him. And that is why he brought the letter to me. So when the letter came to me, immediately I WhatsApped the DSS in our local government headquarters. The following day, I took the letter to the Emirate Council, and the Emirate Council photostated the letter, and they sent it to write a letter in that respect and send it to the various appropriate quarters. That is what happened with regards to the notification. What they wrote in the letter, they are coming down to preach. They say they are coming down to preach. That is the content of the letter. But there is no date, no time. They just say they are coming to preach. And that is just it. Initially, we have soldiers that are staying there. The bandits came over the night, and there's got a exchange between the army and the bandit. Since then, they took away the soldiers, and that place remained open.
So the bandits confronted the soldiers. The soldiers could not wait to fight the bandits thoroughly and make sure they unalive them. What they did, what the government did, was to remove the soldiers. Hey, they removed the soldiers. These people, they are about being exposed to massacre. There's a letter that was wrote to them that they are coming. And you know, whenever they write this letter, they must come. But Nigeria government, who are going about with Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, who is happy. Do you know Tinubu's wife is happy today? They say because Donald Trump recognized her. Did Donald Trump tell the world that you are protecting Christians enough? No, he just recognized you as a pastor. But you are happy. I will recognize you. When Donald Trump recognized you, did he tell you that Nigeria is free from terrorism? No. Did he tell you that Nigeria, the army are doing well against terrorists? The answer is no. But do you know what they are doing today? Is that they are posting video where Donald Trump actually acknowledged the presence of the First Lady. What else would Donald Trump do when the First Lady of Nigeria, so-called, is in a meeting where he is? He will recognize her of who she is. Apart from that, nothing more. But that's what they are glorying about. But now you see a reality on ground whereby military that are supposed to confront terrorists were removed because the terrorists attacked and the government removed them, and the whole community was exposed to this gruesome attack that took place, that took the lives of scores and scores and scores of human beings.
There's no any security present, and that is why they came and spent almost 10 hours to do whatever they like.
I hear that they came and spent 10 hours to do whatever they like. 10 solid hours they spent. Do you know, from the very beginning of that, their onslaught, this community alerted the military. But no, the military did not come respond. It took them over 10 hours when the terrorists must have gone. That is when this military came. That's when they came. Can you believe that? Now, I want you to see this. You know, come and listen to what the Tinubu administration have been busy trying to do.
Major difference.
Let's listen to this. Listen to this. What they're trying to do is looking for how they will go to news stations in America to keep covering up their evil and terrorist image, making themselves look good in the eyes of the world, while Nigerians are dying in their hundreds. Let's listen to this.
Passed into law in 1988, and it has made a major difference globally, including now in Nigeria. We can't take our eyes off of that. I just want to say to my colleagues, to all of us, I'm deeply concerned that Nigeria has hired the K Street lobbying firm, DCI, to the tune of $9 million, $750,000 a month. And a Nigerian billionaire, has entered into a $120,000 a month contract with Valcor to influence Congress and the executive branch. And Ambassador, you know as well as I over these many years, because you have fought this fight. They hire these firms, they come up with their very well-written talking points to say, nothing to see here. You know, whether it be Haiti, China does it better than anyone else, or worse really is what it is. We saw it with Romania. I remember during the years of Nicholas Ceausescu, and I led the effort on that along with Frank and you, Sam, Mr. Ambassador. And they always had these lobbying firms that said, Ceausescu's a good guy. He has all these churches that he has opened. He was torturing Christians.
You see, now they are giving us the narrative that Nigeria is painting, the same thing China painted in the past, the same thing Romania painted in the time of Ceausescu. They will tell you, the Ceausescu is doing very well because they pay lobbyists to cover up their crime. The same narrative Nigeria is painting, but the world, we are used to that system. But this one, in Nigeria, the case is so different because the number of people murdered in Nigeria alone is more than the whole world combined. It's more than whatever Ceausescu did. It's more than whatever happened in China. It's more than whatever happened in Russia. It's more than whatever happened around the world. Nigeria has become the worst. The worst. That's why it is actually nauseating. That's why the whole world is actually feel like vomiting when they hear you try to protect your government or protect Nigeria or round out a good image of Nigeria in the face of these casualties going on.
And the book that got me into religious freedom myself was Torture to Christ by Richard Wurmbrand, who talked about the duplicity and unfortunately how these firms are just so good at advocating for their client. Well, advocate for freedom and end to religious persecution. I have many other things I'd say, but I want to cut it off here. And I do want to thank, again, all of you for being here. I'd like to yield to my good friend, Ranking Member Jacobs, for any comments you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And thank
now,
you all
I want you to
witnesses
see
for testifying.
where Oluwani Tinubu went to in a news station in America. Let's quickly see this one, very quickly. Oh my God.
It's been there for a long.
The rain is coming down. Now, this is a news house in America where Oluwani Tinubu went to to try to buy them, to make them bring her to the news station and put Nigeria in a very good light. But look, they shut her down. They said, no way, we are not going to be in that or cover up. Listen to this.
Growing trend all over the world, including in the United States, but especially in the Middle East. It's been there for a long time. That has gotten worse. Hamas is the quintessential example of that hatred for Jews and for Christians. And then you have a situation like in Nigeria, where more Christians have been killed there than anywhere else in the world. And you have a government in Nigeria that practices denial, a culture of denial. No, nothing to see here. They even hired DC. A big firm here in D.C.
The First Lady was here. She was here this week, and in fact, they wanted to come on the program to talk about religious freedom. And I said, I'm not going to give them. I'm happy to meet with anybody.
Same here.
But I'm not going to give them a platform to cover up what they're doing in Nigeria.
And that's just what it is, a massive cover-up. I met with a big delegation that came in, and it went for almost 2 hours. And the Attorney General of Nigeria said that this Bishop Anabe, who I had at 2 of my hearings, you were there.
He testified right next to me.
Listen to what the Attorney General of Nigeria said to this man who has interviewed a bishop from the crime scene, a bishop that his own people have suffered this Christian genocide. 2 times this man has received a bishop with evidence of what's happening on ground. Listen to what the Attorney General was telling this man, and the man brought it to this news station. Thank God for this news anchor man and the journalist who rejected Olurami Tinubu. And now look at this congressman telling this journalist that, look, that is what they do. They try to protect themselves, cover themselves. And if all these things are going on, please remember the center point we are on right now is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa are suffering, incarcerated because of this exposure that they have exposed Nigeria. And Nigeria is spending billions upon billions to make sure that our leaders remain under lock and key. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not released, that Mazi Simon Ekpa remains trapped in Finland, and they are selling narrative, lying to people, demoralizing Biafrans with stories of, for example, Mazi Simon Ekpa, after he finished serving his sentence, they will repatriate him to Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. And some of you are now fidgeting and are afraid. Do not fear. Do what you need to do. Stand firm and be strong, and know that your resilience, when they see how resilient you are, they will know that you mean business, that your leaders mean a lot to you, and that even if they try to do the worst to our leaders, we will not give up one bit. That's why you see people like Obi Kubana already announced that he has resigned from trying to go and represent Tinubu. I don't know if it is true or if it is fake news or propaganda, but I want to tell you that we have no respect for any criminal supporter or any terrorist sympathizer in Biafra land, no matter who you are. We have no respect for you. But let's run it down. Let's listen to what this congressman had to say, because time is not our friend.
It went for almost 2 hours. And the Attorney General of Nigeria said that this Bishop Anabe, who I had at 2 of my hearings, you were there.
He testified right next to me.
Right next to you. A wonderful man. He said, he's a liar. And I said, whoa, stop that. And then they always do this.
You see, these days, I thank God that there are men of integrity at the international scene that will protect the plight of Biafrans and the plight of Christians. When the Attorney General of Nigeria was calling a bishop who came to represent his people, who spoke the truth about what was happening, Attorney General of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, who has paid $9 million to cover up their image, is telling this congressman, no, don't mind him, he's a liar. Woo! This man told him, hey, hold it right there. How dare you call a man who is speaking the truth with evidence that he's a liar? You terrorist-infested country, you now disgraced country, you hopeless and God-forsaken country, you Ekwensu Republic of the world. Like, seriously? Let's go on.
A wonderful man. He said, he's a liar. And I said, whoa, stop that. And then they always do the thing, my wife's a Christian, or I'm a Christian, and my husband, it's like, don't tell me.
You see the narrative they keep painting. Just like Tinubu will tell you, hey, my wife is a Christian. Tinubu married a Christian. Yeah, my family, they're all Christians. I'm a Muslim. I'm living peacefully. Now, that one is casted. Somebody say casted. Somebody say busted. That one is busted. That one is casted. There's no way you can come out with that evil, satanic, Takia narrative. Hey, my wife is a Christian. Tinubu married a Christian. Your wife is a pastor in Redeem. Which Redeem? Redeem that Adeboye is also a terrorist sympathizer? Is that what you want to say to us? You think the Americans do not know? Eh? He said they come with this, I married a Christian, my wife is a Christian. No, that's bull crap. Stop it right there. Don't go on further than that because we know your game. We know your game. Let's go on with this.
And I said, whoa, stop that, and then they always do the thing, well, my wife's a Christian or I'm a Christian and my husband, it's like, don't tell me that. What is happening as churches are being firebombed, people are being killed in cold blood, abductions, which is very, very big there in Nigeria, of Christians especially, but others, but especially Christians. And there's this assault on faith that has gotten worse. Obama did nothing.
There is this assault on Christian faith that is getting worse. Obama did nothing about that. Are you following? Obama did not. And this is a scenario that our prime minister, look, whenever we're going, I don't try to deviate. Our prime minister, Odoguma Simon Ekpa, have consistently exposed this evil. Our leader, Onyenduma Nnamdi Kanu, have consistently spoken about this evil. That's the reason why they are locked down. And you know what? Nigeria, you people have not seen anything, no? Because what I notice about Nigeria is that Nigeria is such an evil entity that even the citizens, when you expose this kind of thing, you will see some people coming out online telling you, why are you demarketing Nigeria? You demarket your country. You have to speak good about your country. And that is the kind of narrative they sold, whereby Obi Kubana will now come out and say, we will represent City Boy. Let us not demarket our country. Thunder fire you and fire your generation. That's why today, Obi Kubana is looking like a miserable fellow, no matter his billions. That's why Kubana chief priest is looking like a nonsensical pig, just even with their billions. That's why you see me, I will support anyone, even in that side Nigeria, that is exposing this criminality and evil, because some of you that will gang up and say, very dark man is a bad guy, very dark man want to hate Igbo people. You are a fool. You are a fool. You know why you are a fool? You cannot stand the truth. No, you can't stand the truth. When people speak truth, you can't stand them. You only stand to defend evil. You only stand to defend people that are chameleons, snake-like spirits. There are people you defend. But when people who stand for truth that have integrity, you cannot fault them in any way. You want to be a tribal bigot. Tribal bigot. That's what some of you are. But look, those days are gone. These are the days of Elijah. These are the days of setting aright the narrative. These are the days of Simon Ekpa, the days of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the days of Pastor Vam. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. You may not like it, but these are my own days, whereby we'll look you eyeball to eyeball and tell you, my friend, shut your mouth and don't bring that devilish narrative. Even if you are my brother, you are my mother, you are my sister, I don't bloody care. I stand for truth and I stand for my own people. Ndara Ndara. Let's listen to this man.
Christians, and there's this assault on faith that has gotten worse. Obama did nothing. Boko Haram flourished under his 8 years in office, and now
it was your persistent advocacy that actually eventually got them labeled as a terrorist organization.
Yes. For 3 years we tried, Tony, and I had hearings on it. We had people give very, very compelling testimony as to what Boko Haram was doing, and finally, on the day we were marking up my bill to tell the administration you have to declare them a FTO, foreign terrorist organization, that day, that hour, basically, they said, oh, they're an FTO.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 years ago, we could have been working to find out where their sources of funding and weapons.
Before they kidnapped many of the girls.
That's right. The Chibok girls and many of the others were all. And that continues to this day.
Let me ask you about that, Congressman Smith, because as you say that it's gotten worse, you've got these dictators and tyrants in different parts of the world. My experience when I was chairing the USERF Commission, going to different countries, is that many of these bad actors have seen what's happened in America over the last 2 decades, where we have gone from one administration that actually, like we have right now, that protects religious freedom, to one that doesn't care about religious freedom and promotes abortion and LGBTQ. Yeah. And so they just want to wait out.
That's true.
So we're not having that persistent, consistent presence of influence on the world.
Well, that's a very keen observation, because I have found that you even hear that from some of the diplomats when you talk to them. Oh, he'll be gone. Trump will be gone in 2 years. And then what potentially could come in a very, very liberal Democrat like the governor of California, who couldn't care less about religious freedom. You know, I remember I had hearings.
Well, it's the Democratic Party doesn't care about it.
There are many. There are
it's very clear.
Most of them don't.
It's right. But when you comes to their priorities and their platform,
it's not there.
You don't see it there.
Right. And, you know, we saw it with Barack Obama. I would continually say, okay, the International Religious Freedom Act, authored brilliantly by Frank Wolf, it says you must provide us with countries of particular concern, countries that are really doing bad things that could be sanctioned. And we wouldn't even get the list year in and year out.
But that legislation also says that religious freedom will be a priority in our foreign policy.
Exactly what it says. A core. Absolutely, it says that. And, you know, it's been in effect since 1998. You know, I'm happy to say that the Republicans have very faithfully administered it or carried it out.
So the situation over time has gotten worse.
Yeah.
We see that we have aggressive action being taken by this administration. In fact, troops being sent to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Do you know what their role will be there?
Well, in the past, there has been an attempt to try to train the Nigerian military in counter.
All right. Thank you very much, our congressman. There's something I want to address very quickly, and I see this comment from Bedview Network. Well done. Your stance on cancellation of Monday sit at home declared by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You did not listen to me properly. If you listen to me, you understand that my stand is on the side of the people. I didn't see where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu canceled the sit at home. I didn't see it, because the narrative that have been painted for a long time is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have canceled even before the Nigeria our homeland defense read that their press briefing. But the point here is that the homeland actually gave the authority to Biafrans to make their choice. They cannot enforce anything, whether sit at home or not sit at home. They can't enforce it. Or they said that they took order, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. And now, one thing you must take into consideration, I saw the write-up from Aloy Ejimako. If you allow me to analyze this thing, you understand the kind of woman being I am. Aloy Ejimako spent a very long write-up on cancelling the sit at home. But I will give it to him that he has been fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But that energy of writing a long write-up on cancelling the sit at home, I think it would be better to write a long narrative on the reason why Biafrans have sat at home for over 5 years. And also point it out that the reason why they've been sitting at home for 5 years have not been granted. And so anybody promoting that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cancel sit at home, you know, it will not be a good idea that I will stand there and keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have cancelled at home. No. Biafrans will decide to choose whether or not they will sit at home for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself did not declare sit at home. He didn't declare sit at home. So that's why nobody should be seen promoting sit at home or cancelling sit at home. That's just the point. You cannot promote it. You cannot cancel it. It is your choice. If you believe that sit at home means a lot to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then encourage yourself and go ahead and sit at home. Because I am happy that Mazi Simon Ekpa have been removed completely from that idea of he is the one that is instigating sit at home. Yes, Mazi Simon Ekpa have been completely removed from the fact that he is the one instigating sit at home. That one is my joy. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu obviously have never been the one that called for sit at home. We all know that. So right now, with the military men on ground stating that they have decided to back off on this sit at home, and that they will not tolerate. Go and listen to that video. They will not tolerate if Soludo comes out and begin to talk about it and say, I cancel, or you must come out. And maybe if people refuse to come out, Soludo will be threatening them. They want Soludo that if you threaten anybody, we will visit you and we will cancel you completely. And you put Chapoge. Yes, that's what they said. First, now get put Chapu Soludo and Daisy no there. If Soludo goes ahead to insist that Biafrans must come out and come to market and go to office and do. Well, if they decide not to come out, if today, Monday now, Biafrans decide that they are not coming out, you understand? That they are not coming out, and then they will You know, I don't know who is this bastard coming and talking about Ngozi Orabueze. Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu. Ngozi Orabueze is a fool now. Ngozi Orabueze is a dirty pig. Very dirty. That Simon Ekpa doesn't know her. Nnamdi Kanu doesn't know her. You're the only one that knows Ngozi Orabueze. Nweke Sunday. If you are wise enough, you know that Ngozi Orabueze is a zoo agent. Now, who is Ngozi Orabueze? Ngozi Orabueze, ask her, does he know Simon Ekpa? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, the freedom fighters, they said the order is from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Then listen to what they said. They also said that if you choose to sit at home, it is your choice. The point you must take home now is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not initiate that sit at home. He didn't. Did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu initiate it? The answer is no. Is Simon Ekpa enforcing the sit at home? The answer is no. So now today, both Finland and Nigeria government are now aware that Simon Ekpa did not enforce sit at home on anyone. Now, the military on ground have said that if Soludo will force anybody to come out when they decide to sit at home on their will, that they will deal with Soludo. That's the point. So that's the point. So, Aloy Ejimako, I fought you 100%. I put a bad. That's why I cannot share that your write-up. That is nonsensical because you took 1 or 2 hours to write. Sit at home, cancel. A man powerful, papa. But you need to write what Biafrans have done for over 5 years now on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that they love and they want the government to release him before they will stop. So if Biafrans decide that, look, these are 5 years, we're not going to waste it, we will continue even another 5 years. After all, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that another year will not kill him in detention. So if Biafrans choose to say that another 5 years will not kill them, even if they sit at home for another 5 years, are you going to force them to come out? The answer is no. So leave it. Bedview Network, leave it for Biafrans. And let's see what Soludo and Aloy Ejimako and the rest of them will make of it. Okay? So I am going to leave you because I know that you are a zoo agent. Bedview Network. You are a zoo agent. That's why you are here trying to say that I take a stand. And I had to go out. There's a video I would have played now, but I ignored it to answer you. So that you understand that, look, we are on the side of the people of Biafra. And I am on the side of the Prime Minister and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is relevant today and still speaking today because Biafrans chose to stand by him. And Nigeria are talking about this statue because that statue made a very great impact on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu encouraged them to do the needful for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they did. He did not enforce it one day. And today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no longer on the scene for over 1 year now. Biafrans kept sitting at home. So let's see what happens today. No, let us just see what happens today. So if Biafrans today choose to sit at home again, I am sure that the Biafra Liberation Army will not come out and say, Biafrans, why did you sit at home today? Come out. Don't you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have cancelled it? They will never do such a thing. They will not. Because from their own speech, they said it is a willing thing. If they decide, if Biafrans decide to start home, let them do. But if Soludo comes to force them, we will target Soludo and root him out. Thank you for joining me this morning. In the afternoon today, I will bring you the video of Arise News. Yes, Arise News. How they try to change the narrative and paint the picture of Nigeria because they are brown envelope journalists. Brown envelope. That's what they are. But the truth remains that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa keeps winning because they are always being vindicated, and Nigeria will keep going down because they can never get it right. I am Raphael Chamaka Jere, also known as Pastor Van Van Van. By the grace of God, I am the Minister of Information, Biafra Republic Government in Exile. I greet you all. Have a fantastic day. Love you. Comesiano.